Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining in for today's session on Insight Simplified. Today, we'll be talking about Patent Pulse 2026, which is our ninth edition on the patent report launched on the World IP Day, April 26, 2026. Welcoming everybody, and I'm your host, Neha Jain, Principal Analyst, NASSCOM Insights. And since we have most people joining, let's get started. Before I get into I would just quickly give you a glimpse of what all the report covers. We'll go deeper into the insights and move through the session. But broadly, the report talks about the patent filing and trends globally, how things are moving. It also talks about how are things from an India perspective and what are the challenges that we continue to see from a patent filing perspective, and are there certain strategic priorities that we should call out upfront and we should focus on so that we make the whole process more conducive for an innovation-led ecosystem country. So, moving ahead, just a quick glimpse of what we're talking about in terms of global patent filing and grant trends. What we have seen in 24, the overall patent filing to increase reached nearly 5%, which is since calendar year 2018. And interestingly, India's share also increased to 2%. Now, in terms of grant also, globally, there was an increase in share of increase in the number of patents that were. However, in case of India, we witnessed a decline. In terms of, computer technology in specific, we saw that overall the focus on computer technology was maintained, and it maintained its top position in global patent applications, the total applications that were filed, and India maintained its position in the top country of origins. Also, the good part this calendar year, which is CY24 from a global, that the share of women filers and listed inventors increased. That used to remain the high of pre-COVID years, but it's a good feat this year. In terms of the Indian patent filing trends, our filing story remains impressive and we crossed the 140K mark. However, on the ground side, the story is not impressive, and there was a decline in the overall grants from 3K to 21K in FY26. What I would like to, for readers who might have been following the report every year, this year, interestingly, the Patent Office came up with a dashboard you real-time patent filing and grant data. So the report looks at FY26, which is the most recent financial year number that are released through the dashboard. Last year, there used to be a lag of 1 year because all the data used to come through the Patent Office annual report. But this year, we have more data, recent, accessible through the Patent Office dashboard. Okay, moving ahead. In terms of filing, what we see was that educational institutions, they continue to lead patent filing, while MNCs lead in terms of grants. In terms of states, if you look at Tamil Nadu maintained its lead in TOFs, while Maharashtra leads on the grant side. If you look at PCT applications, interestingly, USA, Japan, they continue to hold the top position when it comes to total pay applications filed through the PCT route, while South Korea replaced China at the third spot. So that was the major change we saw. Lastly, we will talk about the key challenges that continue to hover in the patent filing process in India. While there have been efforts by the Patent Office and a much work has been over the last couple of years, if you really have to compare what in terms of global bet, we still have a lot of gap to fulfill. So we'll look at those numbers as well. Lastly, the key takeaway that we draw out from all the trends and the numbers that we see is that, the overall focus of our IP ecosystem, and more specifically patent filing, has to shift from bulk files to, creating value. When I say value, we mean that, we need to focus more on grant numbers, and we need to focus more on socialization and the value and the impact that we are creating from whatever research that we are doing. So we'll talk more about that as we move it. So moving forward on the global patent filing trends, what we saw was that patent filing increased 4.9%, and India, the position is intact at fifth position if you look at exclude the EPOs. Otherwise, it remains in the top six, at the sixth position if you look at the global positioning for India in terms of patent filing. Now, what we saw, the growth that we 4.9, it was driven by China, Korea, Japan, and India. Those were the key drivers for the global patent filing increase. If you look at specifically for India, it continues to, churn out highest growth rate for, I think, sixth consecutive year at 19.1%. And what we again want to highlight here is this whole growth in filing that we are seeing for India is driven by resident application filing. So good in a way, but there are certain issues that we'll see when we talk about India patenting. However, if you look at the grant numbers, the grant driven by the MNC or non-resident population. In terms of patent grants specifically, we saw that the overall the grant increased for 5.2% to 2.1 million. But for India, we saw there was a decline in the share of grants. So for calendar year 23, 3.8%, while that share is now at 3.1%. So that is obviously coming from the lower number of grants that the country is churning out. Now, if you look at the major increase that the grants are seeing globally, the key driver is China. Now, one of the important, facts that I would like to highlight here is if you look at China maintains the highest number of grants. If you look at the grant ratio, which is, how many patents were granted and how many were rejected. China highest rejection ratio of around 29.6%, which China is not only churning out good number of grants, but it is also making sure that the quality of grants are good. So that is probably reflected in the rejection ratio where China leads, and it is churning out good number of rejections when it is doing due approval, going through the approval process of the patents that are being filed. On the side, if you look at what the numbers for India, obviously there has been a decline in the overall grants that we see, a massive 47% in CY24. And majority of the grants continue to go to resident filers in case. Now, though our grant numbers are so low, so one common thought that can come to our mind is that the rejection to like China us should also be quite, but our grant rate is higher at around 17%. So if you look at the overall comparison, despite being very smaller kind of approvals that are taken through the year, our grant ratio is good, but I think that is something we need to learn from other global parts, how they are making sure that they are able to look at a larger number of patents and then churn out approvals or rejections as needed. Forward, what we look at when we look at specific technologies that are making an impact when it comes to patent filing, then what we see is that computer technologies maintain its lead across, last few years. And interestingly, India in the top 5 country origins in, I think, last 2 years, it continued to be there in the top 5. So which means a lot of patents that are being filed are in the computer technology domain, and India remains in the top 5 country of origins, which most of the top 5 countries who are filing in the computer technology domain, India is one of them. Now, if you look at the overall share of computer technologies in the total patent application file, that has also increased from in the last decade from 7.7% to 13.2% in CY23. Now, just for the listeners today, when you go deeper dive into computer technology and other sort of breakups, the latest data that we have from WIPO is coming for calendar year 23. Thus, you see a difference in the numbers that I was talking just in the earliest, while what we have for computer technology in specifically. So going forward, and that despite our focus on computer, see the rev share is a little down. The reason being that China and USA are definitely filing more. So it's not only that we are not filing more, but the decline in relative share is mainly because other countries is also filing more in this domain. It's one of the key focused area for most of the countries. Now, looking at how the share of women in overall inventors and filers is progressing. Now, one good insight and one positive insight that we see this year is that there has an increase in overall share of women as inventors, and you see on the screen that it has increased to 18% from 17.7% last year. Now, the important fact that we need to consider is that, but still remains lower compared to the pre-COVID high, which was CY 20 at 18.7%. So overall, a good momentum that we are seeing, DNI perspective, where we are seeing more and more women coming in and filing and innovating, but we still have a lot more to be done. If we compare globally also from pre-COVID high. And obviously, if you just look at India, then obviously there's a lot of gap we see. So our share of women in listed inventors is 13.1%. It's higher than Japan. But if you look at China, USA, UK, they have a much higher share. So I think we have a lot of gap to close, even if we look at what other global counterparts are doing. Now, also, if we look at, how the share of women inventors is shaping our computer tech, there also we saw there was an increase to 17.2% from 6.9%. So overall, a positive from women filers' perspective. Moving to India's numbers, what we saw was, there was a new feat that we achieved from a filing perspective, and we crossed the 140 mark with a total filing of 143K patents in FY26. And interestingly, if you look at the growth numbers, what we saw was the growth was more than 30% for FY26 and nearly 20% for FY25. Just a couple of years, good amount of filing happening in the country. If we dig deeper, the important point and a positive side to the whole story is that majority of this patent filing is coming from filers. Resident filers are, individuals, corporates, institutions who are based out of the country where they're filing. While if we go deeper into the breakup, majority of the resident filing is coming from educational. There's a lot of growth in resident filing, which is primarily driven by educational institutions, and we'll look at deep number as we move forward. In terms of technology, computer technology, interestingly, there was a 19% increase in FY26 and 16.3% increase in FY25. So overall, the focus on computer technology continues to increase, and we are seeing more and more filing as well as grants as we move forward. In terms of grant, the story, as mentioned earlier, is not really impressive. And, we had reached a high of more than 100K in FY24, but I think that was one year that we saw such high numbers. But again, we have gone down to 33K and 1.4 following years, FY25 and 26. So for us, I think that needs to get better and better, which is not the case right now. In terms of grants, if you look who are the key, contributors, then a lot of grant numbers are driven by non-residents. And to be more specific, even in non-residents, it's primarily the MNCs who are getting majority of the grants. So probably then, again, the question on how our resident files are doing, and we'll talk about that a little later. Looking at computer technology, interestingly, over the last 2 years, both in FY25 and 26, there has been a growth in overall grants that we have received on the computer technology side. So overall, from a computer technology lens, it's a very positive story that we continue to see. And we are hoping with so much tech food growing across the board, continue to see similar numbers going forward as well. Now, share of just look at the chart at the bottom of the slide, then you'll see that share of non-residents in total filing continuously declined over the last couple of years. But if you look at the grant share, that number, though it has declined, not that substantially, but it remains quite high. So that's how the whole non-resident filing focus looks like currently. Now, getting specifics to, what sort of filers or, specific assignees are filing for patents. If you look at the share of patent filing is highest in case of educational institutes. So you see that number 36 on slide, which says, this is the total share of educational institutions in patent in FY26. The other side, if you look at MNCs, their share is at 29.4%. So, if you look at the grant, then the grant share is highest for MNCs at 55.4%, while educational institutions only have nearly 10%. There's a big gap when you look at, the kind of grants that educational institutes are able to get from the humongous file they're doing, while on the other hand, the grant ratio for share in grants to filing, if you look at in case of MN, that is a very positive number at 1.9x. So which means that, whatever they are filing, a lot that is strategic innovation coming to grants. On the other side, if you look at education, there's a gap where they are filing huge numbers, but their grant share is very low. So what we tried to do, we tried to look at what is the average grant ratio for MNC. It's nearly 90%. So when we calculated that number, we look at total grants versus total filing from FY24 to FY26. And these average grant ratio, both for MNC and educational institutions, are reflective of, what is the quality of filing that both of them are doing respectively. So average grant ratio for MNCs is at 20% versus 4% for educational institutions. Now, having said that, if you look at other entities like Indian entities, SMEs, they also seem to be doing fairly good. If you look at their ratio of share in filing, which is positive at 1.5x and 2.4x respectively. Startups, when they are filing, also making sure whatever they are filing is of critical innovation value, and that is how even their ratio of grants to filing is positive at 1x. So that's how things are panning up for different categories of assignees, and there we really need to look at what can we do better so that these ratio go better and better as we move forward in the overall patent and IP for the country. In terms of states, what we continue to see is that Tamil Nadu continues to lead in terms of filing, while Maharashtra continues to lead in terms of grants. Now, interestingly, again, the state reflect the variation in terms of filing and grants. So if you look at top filers, both in the top two states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, they are educational institutions who account for more than 50%. I'm sure if we do a deeper dive into other top states, we'll see a similar sort of breakup. Just for reference to, just drive a point home that educational institutions continue to drive filing. On the other, if you break off of grants, then again, the grants that are coming from Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, you see that they are coming from the organizational sides and some of the individuals who are very focused on innovation. So in case of Maharashtra, the top categories that are getting maximum grants are individuals and corporation. While in case of Tamil Nadu, if you see, you will see small entity. We can reiterate the fact that is a divide educational institution side continues to do more and more filing, but we don't see those sort of grants or next steps coming from the educational institution side. Now look at the PCT applications coming from other countries. So again, here what we saw was USA and Japan maintain their positions, while there was a small reach between South Korea and China, where South Korea replaced China at the third spot, while the gap was quite marginal. And if we look at the breakup of the entities, so obvious majority of the filing that is from through these PCT application is coming from for I'm sure for most of them India is an important market, and thus they are making sure that they are filing their patent, and most of them are also innovating in India in their India office centers. So I think the growing number and growing share of these countries are reflective of the focus that they have in India, both from an innovation lens as well as the market importance that the country has. Uh, Going forward, we have talked about, the gap in the overall filing and the grant numbers that we see for India. So I think one important thing that to light is, what are the challenges that are leading to major disparity between the filing and the grant numbers. So if we look at, if we compare India versus the global best on various parameters of with respect to patent filing process, we can clearly see that India lags in terms of the number of exams we have, the average experience of examiners that we have, and if you look at how under pressure our examiners are. So, per examiner, the patent that they have to look at is 153 versus 57 for the global best country that we are comparing here. And also, if you look at number of patent applications that are being per examiner, it is only 55 for UK, while it is more than 400 for India. So we can really say that we don't have sufficient examiners, and that continues to remain a major challenge for the India Patent Office. Though, if you look at the trend of pendency, which on better from 52 months in CY20 to 37.8 months in CY24, there has been a lot of work that has been put through the whole process, and the India Patent Office some wonderful work over the last couple of years. But the point we have to keep in mind, we are still away from what the countries across the globe are doing, and there's so much that we can still learn and work on. So I think that is one key takeaway that we have, that we have a set of challenges. We are working towards it, but there's still a lot of ground that we need to cover. Now, while we say that, we have a lot of changes and a lot needs to be done on the patent process side, we decided to look at, where in the whole hierarchy of innovation system are we lacking. I think there was a time, couple of years back, where there was not enough awareness when it comes to patent filing. Startups were not aware. Academia didn't know patent filing was important. And I think we have crossed that bridge, and today there's a lot of in terms of filing. So we see there's this huge focus on overall filing approach. Now it's the time where the ecosystem needs to progress to the next stage, where they have to look at value. And when I say value, it's about the quality patents, it's about patent grant rates, how if are making these patents, these research, whatever we are filing to the stage of product and commercialization. Very recently, MeetY has come up with the IP Catalyst platform, and I think this is one of the great initiative that we've seen in the recent times. And they are also realizing that as an ecosystem, we need to progress from just filing to commercialization, and that is what this whole platform is all about. So I think something similar that we believe, and similar initiatives like the IP Catalyst one needs to be taken forward. And the pyramid, which is for India right now dominated by the board layers of setting the policy institutional foundation and research and filing, needs to move ahead to focus on patent quality and grants, and definitely towards commercialization, because that is real value and impact that any Indian should get at the end. Otherwise, it's more of a paper innovation that we have, but there's nothing that we can, there's no impact that we see. Now, considering all of this, I think there are certain overarching priorities that every stakeholder should focus on, and there is an overarching lens that is relevant for all of the stakeholders. So very quickly, the government and the IP offices should now work towards incentivizing grants and not commercializing and not filing. I think those days are gone. In terms of, we just looked at the numbers and we really more examiners, because we need faster and quality examination for all the patents that are being filed. There has to be definitely some sort of fast track mechanism, specifically in cases of technology and maybe high impact initiatives, that the innovations that the organizations and institutes today are doing. Because, today the technology has very low shelf life. And if a lot of time is wasted in just application from filing to grant, I don't think today organizations, institutes, and innovators have that sort of time, and as a country we also lose on the bus. So this is something that really needs to be the focus of the government. Also, there is important policy alignments that we do, where it's out, some specific rules related to health tech, software. We make sure that what other countries are doing, and we have to learn from those best practices. The policy and innovation and IP has to be hand in hand. Also, just having a patent granted not enough. We have to have strong enforcement and faster dispute resolution also, in case there are cases of dispute that are because of certain infringements that happen. For educational institutions, I know, there is a lot of filing that's happening, and what I have heard is, there are two ways to look at it. A lot of complaints come up, and people say that, for their rankings, doing it. But the other lens is, there's a learning curve to this. So I've seen many institutes who were filing in bulk initially, but then they realize that's not value. Rankings only doesn't cut the cause. So very soon, I think most of the youths, they need to realize that it's not enough to just file, but have quality which make to the grant level, and obviously next step to commercialization and impact. So I think as colleges, considering R&D is anyways under a lot of pressure, it's important that they do first level of screening and make sure that they file only for researches and prototypes which they feel will find value and make an impact in the market. So that sort of a one level quality screening should be done at educational institution level. They need to build their own IP and commercialization expertise. So a lot of colleges like IITs, they do have tech transfer offices. Something similar that should be done across the larger universities that we have in the country. They should actually help colleges under them to make sure they have enough support in this. They need to align incentives to patent grants and not just filing counts. They should work towards more in partnership, because I think when industry and academia come together, it becomes much easier to move forward on clear commercial pathways. Similarly, it's very important that today there's enough awareness among researchers. And when I say researchers, it includes both students and faculty alike, that they also understand that patent filing important. Are they really solving a good problem which will have takers in the market at a later stage. So they should also have that sort of awareness. They should know the broader process of filing, patentability, how they can move forward on that, basic drafting. So I think all of these things uh, should be of a better word, or there should be some sort of partners with maybe the law firms, IP consultants, who where at least the basics should be clear with the researchers in the academia. Industry, I think the most important thing is, I mean, we see that already. I think the good part about industry is they have that focus on strategic IP planning, where obviously they're filing only when they see value in it. And that's where that focus should go only deeper as we move forward. And considering, India has a very low share of R&D in the GDP. It's, I think, less than one, it's around 0.7%, where most of that is being done by the government. So I think the industry should come up, focus on more R&D investment and take it to the next level. So that is something that the industry should continue to work towards. And again, if academia needs to focus on industry partnerships, I think the owners lie on the industry also to make sure that they give enough support to the academia to take things to the commercial level. For IP consultant law firms, we talked about examiners. We don't have enough examiners at the patent office. Some of them don't have the ability to look at applications in the new tech. And I think that same holds true for IP lawyers also. We should have lawyers, attorneys who have capability to look at applications in newer areas, newer segments, technologies, and understand all. Also, they also have the onus of the academia and researchers, maybe some wonderful innovation in their kitty, how they can support them to take to the next level. And for them also, it's important to continue to focus building their drafting capability as we move forward towards newer set of sectors and technologies. So I think equal learning for all of us here. Some overarching priorities that I think all stakeholders should focus on is that, there has to be we really need to work towards the reducing filing to grant, and everybody will have to work that goal. Similarly, efforts like the IP Catalyst platform, we need more such, initiate where we can work towards strengthening the commercial pipeline. So just the whole gap between the paper research and the filing that we are seeing from academia, can we bridge that gap to, make some impactful products that are good for commercialization or are solving some social issues at large. So that gap needs to be bridged. Lastly, I mean, if something is not tracked, it's important, I think, and the dashboard IP office has launched is a very good initiative in direction. So patent data tracking remains crucial. Also, what we have seen, a lot of countries like like US, Singapore, Germany, they focus on some specific areas which are of national importance to them. So I think as India also should have mission-led, innovation focus areas where all the stakeholders can work together. So it just helps all stakeholders align on a few areas. Some suggestions are like the one we are already doing with India AI Mission. We are working on factors. So when certain sectoral focus is highlighted by the government, then government, industry, everybody else, education can move towards solving the core problem that we as a country are facing. So I think broadly this is what you want to suggest, and is what he had for the report. Any questions that anybody has, happy to take them up now. And before we move forward, I just want to say this is the QR code from where you can download the report. And just one last thing on the data. All the data that we have been talking is coming from WIPO. It's coming from the India Patent Office, and a lot of analysis is done internally at NASSCOM. So with that, I would like to thank the audience for joining us today, and happy to take any questions that are there in the chat.